permanents and bringing Blue Eyes to the tournament stage. So maybe we're going to have our first Blue Eyes match on both sides of the playing field. We are about to see. Let's find out together. Best of 3 it is from here on out. Who's going to take it? Emre has won the coin toss at the very least. So is he our Blue Eyes player or... Yes! Neo Kaiser Seahorse normal summon with the quickness being linked off into Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Good start here for him. Chainlink 1 Spirit, Chainlink 2 Neo Kaiser Seahorse, but there is the Infinite Impermanence on the Spirit with Eyes of Blue, but the Crossout Designator! Chainlink 4, cards are flying here from Emre.
Spirit with Eyes of Blue is very popular Infinite Impermanence target because the Mausoleum is just so important. Sometimes you really need that extra normal summon for your level 1 light tuners. And of course, being able to summon out a Blue Eyes from the dragon, a Blue Eyes White Dragon in fact, is a very, very popular thing. It's a very powerful thing, having this monster on the field, as iconic as it is, but now you can see the next normal summon. It is the Sage with Eyes of Blue that is going to give you access to either Effect Veiler or Maiden with Eyes of Blue. In this particular case, I think that Effect Veiler will be preferred here because you have the setup with the Maiden. It's in the graveyard, you can activate the Spirit later on when you send your Blue Eyes to the graveyard, and then you can summon it back, tribute it from the field, activate True Light, and you can use your Sage with Eyes of Blue as your tuner.
That is absolutely true, but there also is now Ash Blossom and Joy Spring.
Oh,
you do not see that very often, using this against the field spell effect of Mausoleum of White, but here I think Josh picked up on the fact that Emre so far has no access to the Blue Eyes monster itself, but we do have wishes for Eyes of Blue, and that of course can search for Roar, and then Roar equals the Blue Eyes that can be special summoned from the deck. So good Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, if not for the wishes in the hand of Emre.
And I love that you can discard Veiler for this card, because you can just search for another one. Actually, we search for Maiden of White that can be activated now for the True Light. True Light can, of course, get us another spell or trap card later on. So I think we prefer that over an Effect Veiler, right?
You can search Majesty, right? Which is a better interruption, arguably. So here comes the Blue Eyes White Dragon. We saw Emre there in the zoomed in camera. He's locked in. He wants to get this here. I mean, they're teammates, of course, at the end of the day in Team Snipe Hunters. But here right now, they will have to play against each other. And I think there's going to be no mercy between the two of them. And Emre, of course, Josh always in the spotlight being the team captain, but Emre equally so a very, very, very seasoned player.
Yeah.
And ready, certainly, to take on his team captain here in this one.
And he has been enjoying Blue Eyes in the last few weeks a lot. Maybe he almost enjoyed it as much as flundering people with the Fluonery strategy. But now, this field is a pretty basic setup. You have the Spirit with Eyes of Blue still on the field. Couldn't get rid of it. Now you're summoning out your Blue Eyes White Dragon. It locked you into dragons before. I don't think that you're, with this line of play, go into multiple... Wait, no, you can just set up another Spirit Dragon here, because now that you're not locked anymore, Maiden of White special summons itself out. What you can also do, if you're not playing a big combo with Crimson Dragon or something, you can just go into another Spirit with Eyes of Blue and link off into the Heretic Seal
and
of
it
Heavenly
looks
Spheres.
like we might be doing that, in fact. Linking off right away, and you said so correctly, there's no other monster we want to summon out here. It is going to be Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. Honestly, the best card you could go for, but...
End phase.
True Light effect in the end phase. I was wondering, why was there no activation? But Emre does it in the end phase. Majesty of the White Dragons is activated. Or is set, ready to be activated on the next turn.
Plays around Ogre plus Veiler, because if you use it in the main phase and they Ogre that, and you want to negate your True Light in the graveyard with a Spirit Dragon, you can be Effect Veilered. In the end phase, that doesn't work anymore.
True, and now, Josh, is it the Fire King deck, or is it the Blue Eyes deck? Oh, we do have them both playing their Blue Eyes deck here in the first game. And Emre far ahead here with a big head start, playing through that Infinite Impermanence and the Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. Created a decent field, and Josh is trying to contest that now.
We call that the mirror with the Eyes of Blue. But now look at this. So Josh has no access to Mausoleum yet. What you can do is link off into Spirit. You could also use your Majesty already to destroy the Sage with Eyes of Blue to deny access to the Mausoleum. However, Maiden of White was already used. Maiden of White can be used to put a True Light, but then you can use the seals to your maximum potential.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. We go Spirit of Eyes of Blue. So far, Emre not ready to give up on any of his interruptions yet. Just letting Josh do his thing for the moment. Mausoleum of White successfully added to the hand.
You could also just destroy this True Light, actually.
Yeah, and you can really see it in Josh's face. He's trying to work it out. He's trying to make the plan work. Really focused as we usually know him. Really, basically, it feels like he's part of the game, right? He's like, he's fusion summoning together with the game, and he's just part of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Mastodon. That's what makes him so strong, because his mind is one with the game. And now in that specific game here with the Blue Eyes White Dragon deck.
Does anyone know if Josh has blue eyes? Because he might as well be the player with the eyes of blue. Here, being completely locked in. However, Emre is the one in the dominating spot, and there's a Call by the Grave on the Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, which is huge. That is the best Call by the Grave target by far for
That is
Josh.
crazy, and it does resolve. I mean, both cards there on Emre's side were decent targets to hit with the Call by the Grave, because Seal, equally so, is really struggling against that. But as you say, this is beautiful too. Now Mausoleum of White. It's cool to see, because usually Call by the Grave very much interpreted as a going first card, securing your own combo to go through. But it does have very, very decent applications going second as well, specifically against this Blue Eyes deck here.
But I still think that Emre has quite a lot of play with these seals and the Majesty. Because either Josh forces out the seals now in the battle phase, which would grant Emre another turn with Blue True Light as follow-up and Majesty to disrupt his opponent.
True.
Or you just wait. Bounce the Blue Eyes White Dragon back that Josh is inevitably going to summon and destroy perhaps a Maiden or the True Light later on that Josh wants to put out with the Maiden. So you deny the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon access, and then you destroy the Blue Eyes.
Okay, there
the True Light
comes Maiden of White now. So we're going to have an equal amount of True Lights on the field in just a moment.
True Light can't really be activated right now. Oh, we activate Seal.
Hey, but they can chain
bounce
to it though.
Yeah.
We can just chain the True Light, and I'm sure Josh is going to do so, right?
Yep, and then you can still destroy it with the Seals to destroy the Spirit Dragon, which would also be kind of good for Emre, to be honest. Have we done an extra normal summon yet? I don't think so, right?
Nope.
So that would be something that the play is vulnerable to. But oh, we are bouncing. Ooh, okay, I see how it is. We are bouncing the Spirit with Eyes of Blue, and now basically Josh is also forced to activate the True Light to get into place, and we have the Majesty. I was being very greedy with my line of play, to be honest, trying to maximize the value we get out of destroying the True Light, but you can also force Josh to activate True Light and then pop it. You also have another set card that we don't know of.
And I mean, this is very cool here for Emre. That's what I was about to say, because we summoned out the Blue Eyes White Dragon from the field, and Majesty, of course, accounts not only for monsters in the graveyard and in the hand, but also on the field. And there we go. Immediately after the activation, now Josh, does he have a response? There is not much he can respond to the Majesty of the White Dragons, and now no extra normal summon, and the True Light effect also not resolving. It looks like Emre really found a sweet spot here.
Majesty with the quickness activated to destroy True Light before it can resolve. Also getting rid of the Mausoleum. No recursion in the deck for that. Last card in hand is Wishes for Eyes of Blue. We have used the Maiden in the graveyard already. Solemn Judgment! Wow!
That's the smile of a winner, I would say. Emre using that. He had all those crazy interruptions already, and then just casually flipping up that card at the end of the turn to end Josh's turn.
Basti, who do you take on to beat a world champion? You just need another world champion to accomplish that, because now the Blue Eyes of White Dragon is being summoned back from the True Light, and basically the game is Emre's now. Look at this field. Look at no cards from Josh.
Yep, Emre really had the perfect start there, right? Solemn Judgment, Crossout Designator, and some engine to really get this field going. Emre is enjoying himself here at the moment, and Josh, on the other hand, will probably have to take his first loss of the entire tournament, but due to us now being in the top cut, of course, the tournament structure changing as explained thoroughly. We are in a best-of-3 mode now, therefore Josh, with all the possibilities of just trying to get back into this, and now also having the choice for the second game, whether he wants to play Blue Eyes or whether he wants to play Fire King against the Tenpai Dragon deck of Emre. And we have it once again, Blue Eyes, White Dragon attacks for game. I did not expect going into this weekend that we would see this so often. This is the third time actually we have it happening now.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. Emre choosing to go with the Blue Eyes deck first is very, very interesting, because now winning puts you in a difficult spot actually, because you only have the Tenpai deck left, okay?
Yep.
So that's the situation here. And now Josh can use the Blue Eyes deck, which doesn't have the most impressive going first field, to go second against Tenpai. Tenpai will not be able to set up a crazy field, and you might have an advantage there, because Tenpai really, especially the list that Emre is playing, wants to go second. And then in the third game, probably the Tenpai Dragon deck is going to let you start, and we have seen how well Josh does versus Tenpai. With the Fire King, Azamina, Snake Eyes deck, the field that he puts out is incredible. So Josh took the L in the first round, but I don't think he's out of this at all.
I think you're making a very good point. If you have the Sky Striker Tenpai deck in your arsenal, I really like your idea of just using it in your first game actually, because that just like takes it out of for the last games. I mean, we have plenty of Tenpai players in the field, so maybe them just realizing that right now for the remaining top 4 match, of course, afterwards, that was maybe... On the other hand, maybe Emre just expected Josh to completely read that situation the way you just read it, and therefore he just, like, fought ahead of that as well. And I mean, we're currently talking about Emre making a bad decision, even though he just won the first game, and therefore he's definitely ahead right now, so no need to worry for him just yet. But of course, Josh now, I think... he gotta go second, right? There's just no debate about that. You don't let it happen. I mean, you could just pick the Fire King deck here, but it's just a big risk. So I feel like we're going to see the world champion. Oh, usually it's so easy to say that, but one of the world champions in that case, Josh, probably going to go second. But I think the players are ready, and therefore we should just head back over and see what we are getting here for game number 2 of our first top 4 match. So far, 2 world champions still smiling on the field. One of them might be heartbroken right after this game already. Can Emre make it 2-0, or does Josh come back into this? And we do have Emre going first. Yep. Josh has made the decision that we thought they would make... into the void means no cards end up in the hand in the end. Okay. Engage now.
It's a very all-in deck list that Emre has on going second there, so this is a huge disadvantage there. Starting off with Into the Void is crazy.
It is.
That's absolutely insane, because you're going to get everything discarded. The Sky Striker engine adds another layer of interruption, though. If you have plenty of spell and trap cards here, you can set them all down. You have the Widow Anchor as well. Oh, Infinite Impermanence.
Guess what though, Leo? If you do not get a second monster onto the field here next to the Hydra, your Widow Anchors and stuff don't really do a whole lot anymore.
Do we play Striker Drink? Oh, we set a card. We set 2 more cards.
And we have to set everything if we want to keep it around, because that Into the Void was activated. And I think Josh's plan here worked out very nicely, because that is a field to be broken, honestly. But let's see how he wants to approach it.
Unless Emre all of a sudden gets some Labyrinth cards out there. This looks very, very strong for Josh. If he has a good hand, the Blue Eyes deck can sometimes struggle with finding engine, because there are not too many cards that get you started.
There you go.
We're playing the Fire King deck.
Yeah, I wasn't super sure on him just going for the Blue Eye strategy. I think I was pretty certain on him going second, but between the 2 options, I think having Blue Eyes going first against... you're making a good point. It's risky. You're right. It's very risky.
I can imagine that Josh is going for a similar approach with the Blue Eyes deck as Emre, with playing Solemn Judgments and stuff like that.
Possibly, yeah.
And then I can understand it more, because the going first of the Blue Eyes deck is decent, but I think it needs a little bit of extra help with cards like Solemn Judgment. But now, I mean, if you're playing Fire King Snake Eye here and you're having a decent start, I think Tenpai is gonna get reverse Tenpai basically.
Maybe it will be, but that makes it even more interesting of a decision. Like, we keep on elaborating on the situation that Emre did pick that Blue Eyes deck for the first game, because that is a deck with the Solemn Judgments in the main deck too, which just makes so much sense to have for the later stages of best of 3 as well, because you will be able to decide to go first, and when you can then decide to pick a deck with Solemn Judgments in your deck while going first, that's just such a good thing to happen. Okay, there's a Skyburner activated, and yeah, that is 4 set cards, now only 3 of them remaining. but it's not even guaranteed that any of them do something. You see there, that's Ultimate Slayer. We had to set all of it, otherwise it would have just been discarded. But there's no guarantee for it to be good. Now we activate the Kieran. I think Josh just with ease working through all of those set cards there.
I think Josh is just having an absolute field day here, right?
Yeah.
He is just going in, destroying everything. This is like playing versus a Tenpai player who was forced to go first, forced to set everything. This is just like, you can do whatever you want right now.
That's cool. That is going to be... Is it going to be the... Yeah, Garuing's Eternity, High Yang of the Fire Kings, and that will, of course, deal with the last remaining set card there from Emre. 4 at the beginning of the turn, and so quickly, just Josh takes care of all of them. Oh yeah, it's always like that, right? When they have infinite impermanence, you have the triple tactic talents. They never have the effect Vela when you have the triple tactic talents. We all know that feeling. So Emre had to set it instead of activating it. Now the Hollow Razamina.
It's going to send away the Deception. Deception in the name, Destruction in the game. Now we're going to be able to activate Murcielago effect search for the Wanted, and Wanted is going to give us access to the Diabellstar, the Black Witch. Which card does that give us access to?
Of course, the original Sinful Spoils. And then we can immediately go for Snake Eye Ash, possibly again, just accumulating monsters to be used for possible link summons, link climbing into the rest of our big monsters. Now the Wanted is activated. And Emre, yeah, no cards to be activated there.
Honestly, at this point, you can just summon Ilya Silva and attack, and you're probably still going to win that
Yep.
game. Because Emre is left on absolutely nothing, just like Josh was in the last match where he ended on no cards in the Spawn Trap Zone, no cards in the Monster Zone, no cards in hand. And now we have just Josh summon out Ilya Silva. Dominus Impulse, first appearance on the stream. Absolutely crushing it here on stream. Diabellstar, the Black Witch, is going to set original Sinful Spoils, which is going to play a big role in this game because this one is going to summon out Snake Eye Ash from the deck, which is going to be followed up by Popular, and I think you know the drill.
At this point, I'm sure you do. Snake Eye Ash on the field, limited. Searching for the equally limited Snake Eye Poplar, but I mean, doesn't matter if they're limited, right? Because you still just get them out with the original Sinful Spoils, and you have no problem to do so. Poplar now, not even with a target in the deck anymore, though, as we already got to the original Sinful Spoils with our Black Witch, of course, but we can still link it off.
We don't play Temple, go into Link Kuribo, Poplar effect, put Poplar into the Spawn Trap Zone, and now Snake Eye Ash is just going to have a great time sending off the Poplar to summon off Flamberge Dragon. Flamberge Dragon can push Hydra into the Spawn Trap Zone.
I mean, we can go Oak first here as well if we like, but we just can immediately go for the Flamberge Dragon too. That works like a charm for sure.
I think that Josh wants to win the game this turn, so therefore we're still going to see a lot of interaction here. Not with Emre, but with this other engine of the deck. Oh no, he's not even playing the Fiendsmith cards, right?
Nope.
So, yeah, he discarded an Impulse.
Yeah.
So now
kind
we're
of a giveaway.
Vita, and Vita doesn't have a target yet. However, if you get the Hydra in the graveyard, somehow there will be one.
Yeah, you might not even need it though. Let's just see. We go Promethean Princess. Promethean Princess bring back Flamberge. Flamberge put the Hydra into the Spawn Trap Zone. I think doing some quick math here might be over 8,000 points of damage.
Should be, it's 2-7 and 2-7 for 5-4, and then the Flamberge as well in there.
Yeah.
And you have the Snake Eye Ash as well. Oh yeah, that's the first 2-7 that I meant. Snake Eye Ash plus Ilya Silva is 2-7. Promethean Princess is 2-7. 5-4.
We did the math. Josh is doing the moves. We're heading into the battle phase, and we are good to go here. And we are forcing a deciding third game here onto Emre. Emre might have looked good in that first game with his Blue Eyes deck. Didn't look as good here in the second one with his 10-byte deck when he was forced to go first. Now, though, in the deciding third match, Josh, on the other hand, will be forced to play his Blue Eyes deck again. And honestly, he struggled with that one in the first game, so let's see whether he can turn it around with it.
That is true. So he either plays a heavy-going first version that helps you versus the 10-pie deck, but also opens up a little bit for Emre to go for a bigger first turn, set up seals. However, we've just also seen that Josh did quite the good job at navigating through a field of Emre, so I wouldn't really count on that. Caught by the Grave in hand is detrimental to take care of a Heavenly Spheres, and the deck doesn't really do too much more other than Heavenly Spheres. So I think that we're going to see Emre decide to let Josh go first. Emre has already beaten Blue Eyes going second with the 10 pie strategy. So I think that we're going to see another clash of the dragons, another chance for the Blue Eyes White Dragon to prove that it's still the superior dragon in the field. Or will the 10 pie dragons reign supreme?
We gotta see. We have the 2 world champions now. One of them will be out of this tournament right after this game, but they will have the chance to go out in style here in this last remaining game between the 2 of them. Who's going to make the finals, Leo? What do you think? Which dragon deck is going to pull through? What's your personal pick?
I mean, everyone loves the Blue Eyes White Dragon, but Emre has been looking so good, except for when he timed out with with his deck, or when he crashed the Heater that wasn't Link summoned. So those were some minor mistakes.
Couple oopsies, yeah.
He has to learn from his mistakes, and I think that Emre is going to take it away here.
Let's see. I'm sure we're going to see Emre going second, as he has been doing so often here throughout this tournament. But this time is the deciding one. Against his good friend and team buddy, we see Emre selecting to go second. You see 1 star on each side next to the Blue Eyes deck of Josh. Wait, actually, Josh won with the Fire King deck, though, so he will be on the Blue Eyes strategy now. And Emre won with the Blue Eyes deck already.
4,000 damage. We're halfway there on Emre's side already. Neo Kaiser Seahorse is being normal summoned here. We have the Sage in hand, of course. However, we want to link this one off into the Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Prime infinite impermanence target now, especially since we've added the Sage. And also, I think Neo Kaiser Seahorse is a good normal summon. It gets you started into your engine. However, I think it's the one that is most vulnerable to a hand interaction from your opponent, because Sage, when it gets Effect Valid or Impermanence, just can still go for a line with Spirit and get to the Mausoleum. If this one gets Impermanence, the Sage in the hand does nothing.
The thing, though, is...
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, as you know what Emre's deck is for this one. You know that Emre is playing the Sky Striker 10 pie deck, and therefore you know that you don't have to fear Effect Veiler or Infinite Impermanences. So you can just kind of design your turn around that knowledge. You can just kind of make the decision based on that knowledge advantage, but you know that this deck just plays those field-breaking cards such as Lightning Storm or the Sky Striker cards, and therefore you don't really have to worry about those things. And you can just like basically play the best combo you have, disregarding all kind of interruptions from your opponent. And there we search an Effect Veiler as well. And honestly, that's a pretty good thing to have against the 10 pie deck, as long as they do not have, of course, Sengen Summoning.
I find it quite hilarious that life points in the matchup versus 10 pie for any deck, they do not matter for some reason, even if it's very important to reduce the life points to 0. It feels like the 10 pie deck either does 0 damage to you or 20,000.
Yep, that is true. Emre, I'm trying to judge his face there, and I think he looks alright. I think he's believing. He's not super upset about what he's seeing, so maybe he already has those Lightning Storms or Happiest Feather Dusters in his hand, which are so good against this deck. I think we did not even need to set the wishes there off of the True Light, so we can just activate it from hand. So we're searching for another Effect Veiler here, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So that would be double Effect Veiler, which is a huge setup.
Plus a Majesty, you can also get the Spirit Dragon, the Blue Eye Spirit Dragon out as well. And beautiful secret rare from Shining Victories in the TCG. We get Effect Veiler, the Majesties. This is the full setup here. More setup from spells or trap cards and Vader's in hand than from Blue Eyes cards on the fields, actually. But I think there's 1 or 2 unknown cards in the hand of Josh, so perhaps Solemn Judgment might be there as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I love the plan here from Josh. I love him forcing this situation of having Blue Eyes versus 10 pie in the last game, because we talked about all those field-breaking cards. On the other hand, though, we just searched double Effect Veiler, and Effect Veiler is a card that can't be hit by all of those cards. And we do play Ultimate Fusion. Okay, I thought Ref's cards was the only one relying on that card here in this tournament, but no! Josh is also running it, and he has it here as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge for him. Fusion is going to be able to pop cards by shuffling back Blue Eyes White Dragons from the graveyard. So you want to activate Majesty first.
Oh
Lightning Storm is so big here. Are you going to destroy everything? There is the chance for Josh to activate something, but how much does that really do for you here? Blue Eyes White Blue Eye Spirit Dragon is still there to negate the True Light afterwards. Will Emre have an answer to that one as well?
That's why Emre was looking so calm the entire time.
If you have a judgment here, you activate it immediately,
Of
right?
course.
There's no question
Very
about
much.
that. So I think Josh is in a bit of a pickle.
I do agree. There is no solemn judgment waiting. Life points of Josh already half due to that Piri Rice map. And yeah, that is such a rough one. Actually, though, oh, we do chain the ultimate fusion at least. That is something that we can work with at the very least. But what can we even summon out of it here?
We can summon out the Blue Eyes. We can't summon out Blue Eyes Twin Dragon. We can summon out Tyrant.
Yeah, I think we just summon out Tyrant, possibly. I mean, we can just give up on the Blue Eyes in our graveyard because Majesty cannot be used anymore, and that is Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon indeed in attack position there, destroying all of the other cards. True Light activates.
Droplet,
also,
discard a monster.
That also forces now us to activate a monster effect, right? So
Droplet, discard a monster would be absolutely crucial. Nope, Blue Eye Spirit Dragon gets to negate a card in the graveyard another day. Immediately tributes it for the ultimate Spirit Dragon.
So Emre, though, still sitting there with 5 cards in hand, but also with the knowledge that there is 2 effect Veilers in hand waiting for him. Ultimate Slayer, though, is the perfect answer as well to the ultimate Spirit Dragon because it cannot respond to it whatsoever. Oh,
But we don't send a Synchro monster.
interesting.
I think there is... Oh, we have negates to targeting effects in the graveyard, right? Or do we not? Anyways, we decide not to target it. Maybe
No,
it's
we do not. No. Afterburner now. Okay.
Oh, that is so big because it forces out the negate or special summons out the Blue Eye Spirit Dragon from the graveyard that can't activate the effect to tribute itself, but can then negate another card in the graveyard, perhaps. We negate the Afterburners. The 4,000 defense points are valued by Josh at least. And now we activate Engage, Sky Striker, Mobilize, Engage with 3 cards in the graveyard. Kagari is a card that at this point I think you would want to negate. Josh is at 4,000 life points. The Widow Anchor is almost enough damage here, right? Or when it negates it, the 4,500 still stay, right? You just attack here.
Let's see. Widow Anchor on the Ultimate Spirit Dragon. The attack points do go down, but we only need 500 more, and there is Sangen summoning. We see the nod of respect from Joshua Schmidt. At the end of the day, it might be Emre really taking down his team captain here. And yeah, we see the effect Veiler. We all know there's 2 of them, Josh. You may as well activate the other one. And he does. And Emre is smiling. He is winning against his own team captain here.
Yeah, you can at this point you can add Kaiman, but you can also just put in attack position the Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon with 3,500 whopping attack points. No, we continue. We add Genroku or Chandra here and special summon it to the field afterwards. Josh is at 4,000 life points because of the Piri Rice map. And as I said earlier, the 4,000 really do not matter because it's either no damage or 20,000 damage, and this is one of those 20,000.
Look, we don't even use them on... Wait, was it summoned? It was summoned this turn. We can't even switch into deck position.
Yeah.
That's something we completely did not account for there, but that's easy 4,000 points of damage anyways.
Yep, Fadra is going to attack here as well. Can't summon anything out of the graveyard, but Hydra, the most iconic trio in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. Fadra, Chandra, and Hydra take out the world champion Joshua Schmidt and advance the world champion Emre to the finals of the 3rd anniversary Master Duel Invitational.
I think Emre really had a clear vision here ahead of this weekend. He, actually together with me, as I have to mention, in the 2nd year anniversary Invitational, lost in the finals, so he has to make up for that this time, as we introduced it with as well. Now securing one of those really, really cool trophies with the elemental hero Neos on it. And he will be either facing Barcode, who he also really has like some talk to have after that last game they just had with the timeout on Emre's end, or of course on the other end, Colossa. Very much also very experienced in those invitationals, having a very, very good run in the first one of them as well, so very much some good competition left on this.
But see, now with Josh being out, I think that Barcode has the highest chance of winning the tournament because he is left in the tournament with 2 10-pipe players, and he is the player best prepared for it with the Fucho in the extra deck of his Snake Eye deck. So
Go slow with the horses, though. We just like Barcode has to win 2 matches, and then Emre is already into the finals. So for me, for now, Emre is my prime candidate to make it through. Honestly.
All right, you're going with the statistics here. I'm trying to go.
I'm a numbers guy, you know.
I know. You're the mathematician. You're the true mathematician. But we are ready with the interview for Emre, and let's go over to Ed.
You want maths? I'll give you maths, gentlemen. 2 is greater than 1, and that's how many rounds you won. I'm good at this. So congratulations, Emre. You are now through to the final. This is not the first time. In this very room, a year ago, you got to this same point last time.
Exactly.
But you didn't win it last time.
Unfortunately.
Do you think you can win it this time?
I think, yeah, I think I can win it this time. I thought last year as well, together with Lumpy, that we could win it together. Unfortunately, we couldn't. But I guess, again, my chances are good, I would say. So we'll see.
I mean, so far it's looking pretty good. That was a fairly confident thing. Was it slightly bittersweet having to go up against, you know, your World Championship teammate?
No, not really. I mean, I know Josh for so long now. We're so close friends. It doesn't really matter.
Not anymore. You guys aren't going to talk after this, but you have secured at least 1 trophy.
Yeah.
You got that, maybe that second place, maybe that first place, but we'll have to see. Congratulations on getting this far. Going to give you a bit of time just to decompress because we have 1 more feature match in the semi-finals before we get to see Emre against, well, who? We'll find out because coming up next is Barcode versus Colossa. Which one of these will Emre take on in that final? We'll find out very, very soon. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.